Hey guys, it's Daniel Cheese from Bridgetown Fire. Some people have been interested in what exactly we keep on our tablets in our apparatus. So I'm just going to go through the apps with you. So we've got, first of all, we use the Photos app if we're on scene. Now, this is a fairly new setup one, so it's going to ask me a lot of things. Sorry about that. So we use the photo section. Should we need a camera, it's always charged and can be good to go. Let me just back out of this. Contact information. So what we do is we keep all the contacts in here for EMO Nova Scotia, JRCC, Natural Resources, Poison Control, that kind of thing, should we ever need it out in the field. Go back again, clock is clock. Mail, generally this is just simply used to send photos from the truck to whoever is doing the final report. B-Weather, we use B-Weather simply for the fact of it allows us to have access to the local weather forecast without a lot of advertisements that you get on the weather network. It's a lot less cluttered. Canada 411, because you never know when you need to look up a phone number. So there's a shortcut to Canada 411. DNR Burn Safe Map. DNR Burn Safe Map. If we get called to a scene where there's a wildfire or someone is doing some domestic burning, we're able to check the map and help educate the customer a little bit on the burning restrictions in the area. And tide times, because we deal with tidal waters. We have our local tide times right here, so we can plan on using that. Now, tide times are handy in two situations: water supply and rescue. So, we do pump salt water here if necessary. At the end of the day, water's water. Just got to flush your pump after. So we can really predict our water supply needs around the tide if need be. Nova Scotia Power website. Whoops, I keep hitting that button. There we go. We have the Nova Scotia Power outage map. If we're dealing with a lot of outages, sometimes customers look at us and ask whether we know what the estimated time of restoration is, so we can actually just go and see the estimated time of restoration without having to call a lot of people. Notes, because, sometimes you need to grab notes. Sorry about that. Not now. Sorry, this is a new iPad. I'm just setting it up. So you can add a new note. And you can do everything, and you can even doodle in here if you need to. You can say, okay, here's the scene, yada, yada, yada. It's a great little built-in app. Commander, GPS. This is more handy for if we have to go to a life flight scene and we need those lovely things right there known as coordinates. It's great also just to use. You can take the iPad right out of the truck as well, and it will allow you to do things that way. We also have a Canadian topography map, so we have access to the trails, mapping information. This is a free app, so we can see all the road trails and go right in here and actually see where they are. Under other apps, that's just kind of where I stock everything else that's not used day to day to kind of clean up the home screen. We have here Life Flight cards, so we have access to the Life Flight landing zone cards that you would need when you were bringing in Life Flight for a scene landing. And then we also have access to the tax assessment database, to the there you go, Property Valuation Services Corporation. It's a Nova Scotia corporation. We can search the address. A lot of what we do, we have a property release forms at the end of an incident that we have signed, and part of it is we include what the tax assessment on the property is. And that's how we look it up here. And of course, I am responding. Self-explanatory. So it allows us to map things out. Tablet command, which is a command board for incidents. You can add resources. I've yet to program this in. We've yet to implement this in our station, but eventually that's the goal. You can have checklists and you can actually create assignments, incidents, assign different things, do power, whatnot, with this app, Power Timers. Wiser, enough said. Wiser is a great little app, great tool, has all kinds of information with regards to substances, things we encounter on the highway, things we encounter in manufacturing facilities, anything like that. It's a tool that is sworn by Haztechs everywhere, so why not have it? We're not Haztechs, but by God, if we can use little information to help better ourselves, then by all means, we certainly will, while we wait for the Haztechs to arrive on scene. ERG, enough said. Search, browse by pages, whatever you want to do. Close, there we go. So you can go into the ERG. The best part about this, it's updated. You don't got to wait for the books to arrive. Bada bing, bada boom. And then, of course, the camera. Like I said before, we'll use that to take scene photos if needed. And we can send these scene photos off to anybody. We can also send it to an RCMP officer that might be on scene. If they want some pictures taken, we can just get their email and do right from the scene. So that's it. That's what we have on the home screen. It is mounted in the truck permanently using RAM mounts. It is locked in the truck as well. We do keep the key close by in the truck. We also keep lock codes on the devices simply for the fact if it does get stolen, God forbid, we can recover it. So that's it. That is the iPad, and that's how we have them set up in our department.